Good evening, dear students from all over Egypt. Welcome to today's session. With you today is Wafa Hassoub, and today, inshallah, we will start lesson one from your Programming and Artificial Intelligence book. So let's start together with chapter one. What's information? Well, starting with information and media. Well, do you know the meaning of data, information, or knowledge? Can you differentiate between the three of them? Let's check the definition for each one and know how to differentiate between these three idioms or these three words. Starting with data. Data means facts or matters represented using numbers, characters, or symbols. Well, data, let's make it together as a recipe. So starting with data means the ingredients of your recipe. So think of yourself as making a meal for yourself. So you need to start with the ingredients. The ingredients of your meal is data. So data means like numbers, letters, symbols that we collect. They are raw and unorganized pieces. It doesn't mean much alone. Do you want an example for more clarification? Well, check the example with me. Example 1. Just the number 5 and the word mango by themselves. They are data. 5 or mango. So these by themselves, we call them data. Example 2. A list of different colors, red, black, white. These are examples of data. Well, hope you, inshallah, got the meaning of the word data. Well, what about information? Information. This is something that holds meaning or value for the recipient and serves as a basis for a decision making. Unlike objects, information has no form. So, information gives meaning to data. Information gives meaning or value to data. Check here. We told you that data is ingredient, okay? Or data are the ingredients. Information is the recipe itself. So information is the recipe of your meal that you are trying to make. So information is when we put the data together so it makes sense. It helps us make decisions. More clarification with an example. So, example 1. I bought 5 mangoes. So now we can make sense by 5 and mangoes. So I bought 5 mangoes. This information tells us what happened. Example 2. Do you remember the colors? Red, white, and black? Well, the Egyptian flag had red, white, and black strips. This information organizes the colors. Hope, inshallah, that information and data are clear for you. Well, as usual, dear students, information has some characteristics. So, do you know the characteristics of information? Let's check them together. Starting with persistence. So, information has persistence. Well, what does it mean, persistence? We know that information, once created, cannot be completely erased. You can't delete it forever. That means once we know a piece of information, it's hard to completely forget it. For example, when you learn your new friend's name and he becomes close to your heart, it stays in your memory, maybe for many, many years to come. You can remember your primary school friend, someone that's close to your heart. You can never ever forget his name. So this is the first characteristic of information, persistence. Persistence. It's hard to completely erase information. So persistence like a solid solid environment, and we have a plant deeply rooted inside it. So it's hard for you to take it out of this. So this is resistance, something that's hard to remove. Now, continue with the characteristics of information. We have reproducibility. Reproducibility. Again, reproducibility. Well, what does it mean, reproducibility? The information can be easily copied in large quantities. So if I have an image or a photo, I can copy it many times and send it to different people all over the world. And reproducibility means we can easily copy information and share it with many friends. For example, you can write a story in your notebook, then photocopy it and give it to all your friends. Check the image with me. So, reproducibility, if you have a code or you have something, you can spread it to all your friends. You can copy and paste it to all of them. And maybe with one click, paste it to 20 or 50%. Okay, so this we call reproducibility. Reproducibility. Okay, continue with the characteristics of information. We have propagation. Propagation. Well, propagation is easy to convey, means that information is easy to convey and spread. That means information spreads very quickly from one person to another. And for example, when you tell your friend exciting news, they can quickly tell other friends. So if I tell you now a secret, it will be spread all over Egypt because everyone will tell his friend, she told us a secret and this secret is something. So this we call propagation. Propagation. It means that information is easy to spread all over the place to many people. So information can easily spread through mass media such as newspapers, television, as well as the internet, of course. Check this image for me. What we have here, he told his friend a secret and he's telling it to the whole world around him. So this is propagation. Okay, so we talk about data and we spoke about information. Then what about knowledge? Knowledge. Well, knowledge is the information that has been analyzed and systematized to aid in problem solving. Well, we told you that data are the ingredients. Information are the recipe, And now we have knowledge is the cooking skill. Of course, if you want to cook a meal, you have to have skills to make it good and delicious. So this is knowledge, the cooking skills itself. So knowledge is when we understand the information and know how to use it to make a smart decision. And remember, dear students, that data are the ingredients, as we told you, and information is the recipe. So knowledge makes us take smart decisions according to the data and the information that we use it. Do you want examples? Well, example one here for you. You know you have 5 mangoes. So you decide you can make 2 cups of mango juice for your friends. So 5 and mangoes were data. We have 5 mangoes. This is information. We made 2 cups of mangoes or mango juice for our friends. This is knowledge, of course. Perfect. And here is the juice for you. Well, example 2. You know the Egyptian flag's colors. So you know which color to start drawing with, red on the top. So we know that we have red, black, and white. These are colors and these are data. Well, red, white, and black are the colors of the Egyptian flag. This is information. And we know that the Egyptian flag starts with red on the top, and this is knowledge. So this is how to differentiate between the 3 of them: data, information, and knowledge. Well, do you know how to solve a problem? Well, you need to memorize these steps. First, you need to ask yourself, what's my problem? What is the problem itself? You need to know the problem so you can solve it. And after that, you need to think of solutions, many solutions for the problem itself. You know, to think of one solution, another, and another one. Because after that, you need to know, well, what would happen if solution number 1 doesn't work with me? Would it be safe? Would it be fair? How would everyone feel? If it works with you, then perfect. Take solution number 1. If solution number 1 doesn't work with you, then move to the other solution. That's why in problem solving, you need to think of many solutions, as we call it plan A, plan B, and plan C. Just in case if plan A doesn't work, you have plan B. Okay? Just in case solution 1 doesn't work, you have solution 2 and 3. So after you think of these solutions, you give a try to each one. And the one that works, then take it. These are the steps of problem solving. Hope you, inshallah, apply it in your life. Well, information, dear students, divides into parts. So the first thing we have is primary information. Primary information. So what's primary information? It's information obtained through direct personal experience or acquired through research and experiments. What does it mean? Well, the meaning of it is that information you get yourself, like doing an experiment or writing down what happened. So Whatever information you do it yourself, we call it primary information. Something that you do it and you experience it by yourself, not by the help of others. So whenever you have information, you get it yourself, we call it primary information. Check here the examples that I brought you. When you draw a picture yourself, this is primary information because you created it. Example 2, experimental reports, surveys results. So you write them down by your hand, by yourself. So this is primary. As you can see here, of course, tabulations of questionnaires results. Check this image here. We have this student, this kid, okay, writing his report by himself or drawing by himself. So this is primary information. After that, we have secondary information. Okay, so secondary information, what is this? Do you know the meaning of it? Well, secondary information not obtained directly by oneself, but acquired through a third party. So it means, of course, like books, newspapers, television, and etc. So this information you get from someone else, like a book or a television. It's not done by yourself. No, it's done by others. They created it. So we call it secondary information or secondary information. Check the example with me. When you read a story in a book, so this is secondary information because someone else wrote it. You only read, but you didn't write it yourself. Look here, he's reading through his book. He's not doing it by himself. Okay, now we have a new definition for you, dear students. It's cross-checking. Cross-checking. Well, what's cross-checking? Well, secondary information can sometimes differ from the original information or have interpretations added to it. So it's changed or modified. Well, in other words, it's necessary to compare the obtained information from multiple perspectives with other information to determine the degree of its accuracy and reliability. This is called cross-checking. Well, it means to ask more than one source to confirm the information. So, if someone tells me an information, I need to ask another to make sure that this information is reliable, is true. Okay? Not modified, not changed, or there is lies in between. So we call this process cross-checking. Okay? Now I have some questions for you, dear student, to check your understanding with me. So do it with us. Question 1. What's the difference between data and information? Can you know it? Well done. Well, data is raw facts like numbers or words, while information is data that has been organized and given meaning. Question 2. Can you give an example of knowledge? Knowledge, not data or information. Can you give an example? Well, knowing that eating apples is information, makes you strong, and deciding to eat one every day to be healthy is an example of knowledge. So we have apples. This is data. Okay? Eating apples is information. It makes me healthy and want to decide to eat it every day to be healthy. This is knowledge. Okay? So hope you, inshallah, try to differentiate between data, information, and knowledge. Now we have a new topic to talk about. It's media. Media. So, what's media? Well, media for conveying information to people. It means they are the tools we use to send information to people all around the globe. For example, or the television you watch, or the book you read are all forms of media. Check here. This is the traditional media way, television, news, some signs, and so on. We have the Facebook, we have the projector, we have your telephone, okay, or mobile phone. All these are new ways of transmitting media for you. Well, what are the types of media? Are there types? Yes, we have types for media. So, starting with expression media. Expression media. So, this is the first type. Expression media, we used it as a means of expressing information. So, we use it to express information. Do you want an example for it? Like text, images, audio, video, or words, pictures, sounds, videos, all of them are expression. You can express information through it. Check here. Well, here is the image. So we express information through video, through hearing something, okay, through an audio, or through writing something, through text. We have now the second type of media. It's propagation or transmission media. Propagation or transmission media. So, it's media used as an intermediary for the transmission and communication of information. So, it transmits information to other people. Here, like television, radio, newspapers, books, telephone, and the internet. Look to the image we have. So we have newspapers, and of course we have television and internet and the radio. You want to know type 3 of media? Well, it's recording media. Recording media. It's media used for recording and storing information. For example, we have papers, USB drives, and DVDs, and cloud storage. Is very important for you because it keeps your information safe. Check here. We have, of course, the memory card, the USB, and we have the CDs, DVDs, and so on. And of course, we have papers, okay? And we have, as we told you, the cloud storage like iCloud, Dropbox, or Google Drive, or OneDrive. Well, continuing with media literacy. What's media literacy? It's the ability to accurately interpret information obtained from media. So this we call media literacy. It means it's being smart and understanding the information you see or hear in media well and knowing if it's true or not. So whenever you see an information in any social media, in any media at all, okay, you can confirm that this is correct or a false one. This is true or not true information for me to follow. For example, when you see an advertisement for a new toy, media literacy makes you think, is this toy really good? Or this is the ad just trying to make it or make me buy it. So this is media literacy, makes you think and rethink again. Is this true? Is this good or bad for me? Should I buy it or no? So this is the help of media literacy for you. Now, this is part for questions, and I hope all of you, inshallah, to understand these questions with me. Question 1. For the following lines from A to C related to data, information, or knowledge. So each sentence we need to know, is it data, information, or knowledge? Well, temperature and humidity values answer is data, of course. Temperature and humidity values. So the answer is data. Analysis results of temperature and humidity over the past 10 years. We have temperature and the analysis of or the analysis results of temperature. So if temperature is data, the analysis results of temperature is perfect information. Well, weather forecast. We know the analysis results of temperature. So we forecast the weather. So we call it knowledge, of course. So this is how to differentiate between data, information, and knowledge. Temperature is data. Humidity values is data. The analysis results of temperature, we call it information. We use this analysis results of temperature to forecast the weather. This is knowledge. Question after that. Question 2. Choose one statement that's not suitable as a characteristics of information from the options A to D and answer using the letters. It has a form just like an object. The meaning or value changes depending on the recipient. It had the characteristics of persistence. It had the characteristics of propagation. Well, of course, the one that suits the characteristics of information is it had a form just like an object. Question after that. Choose the content related to the following sentence A to C from the group of words labeled A to C below and answer using the letters. So we're going to choose from these. A, persistence, B, reproducibility, and C, propagation. Well, question 1, even if you purchase a commercially available music CD, you're not allowed to make copies to distribute to friends. Well, what is this? Is this persistence or reproducibility or propagation? Well, of course, it's reproducibility. To make copies and distribute it to others. Well, emails can be sent instantly overseas. Well, we call this propagation, of course. And the third thing, we have rumors about people and false information can persist indefinitely. So this is persistence. Question after that. For the following media from A to F, answer whether these are classified as expression media, propagation or transmission media, or recording media. Write 1, 2, or 3 as you answer. Television is a type of cloud storage, is a type of, can you guess? Book is a type of, and the internet. Can you guess the type from these three? Text character. And finally, we have book. Well, television is propagation or transmission media. Cloud storage is type of recording media. Book is expression media. Text character is type of expression media. And finally, we have book is expression media, of course. Well, check your knowledge, check the information we gave you through these questions. So, for the following items, A to C, answer whether they are related to data, information, or knowledge. So, results on mock exam, they are type of data. Analysis results for admission to the desired school. Well, this type of information. And finally, we have scores on mock exam. So they are type of data. Well, choose the characteristics of information that's appropriate from the options A to D below and answer using the letters. Information doesn't have the characteristics of reproducibility. The meaning or value of information doesn't change depending on the recipient. Information has form like an object. Information that has been disseminated cannot be easily deleted. Well, A is the correct one because it says information doesn't have the characteristics of reproducibility. Question after that, what is the term for the representation of facts or matters using numbers, characters, or symbols? Well, it's data, of course. Question 2. For the following items A to C, answer whether they are related to data, information, or knowledge. Well, results on mock exam. It's data, okay? And B, analysis results for admission to the desired school. So the answer is information. And C, question after that, show the content related to the following sentences from from 1 to 3 from the group of words labeled A to C below and answer using the letters. A, persistence, B, reproducibility, and C, propagation. Well, number 1, it's possible to copy commercially available music and movies in large quantities without any degradation. Reproducibility. Number 2, rumors about people persist and never completely disappear. So this is type of persistence. And 3, information published on the internet spreads widely in a short period of time. And this is propagation. Question after that, what is the term for information obtained through personal experience or from investigations and experiments that were personally conducted? We call it knowledge. What is the term for the ability to accurately interpret information obtained from media? We call it media literacy. And what is the term for the representation of facts or matters using numbers, characters, or symbols? It's data. Okay. Choose the content related to the following sentences 1, 2, 3 from the group of words labeled A to C below and answer using the letters. Well, 1. False information, once disseminated on the internet, can persist indefinitely. And of course, the answer is gonna be persistence. Number 2, not only mass media, but also individuals are now able to disseminate large amounts of information through the world. And this is propagation. Question after that, a person copied a commercially available music CD and distributed to their friends is reproducibility. For the following statements about information, mark O if the statement is correct and X if it's incorrect. Question 1. Primary information refers to information obtained through surveys or investigation conducted by the persons themselves. And of course, it's correct. Sentence 2. The statistical data published on the Statistics Bureau's website is considered primary information. So it's wrong, incorrect. It's secondary information or secondary information because it's published through other people, not by yourself. Question after that, for the following statements about information, again, mark O if the statement is correct and X if it's incorrect. Well, information found by a person on a website is considered primary information. It's found by another person. Well, of course, it's incorrect. It's secondary information. Information obtained through a third party is considered secondary information. It's of course correct because it's obtained through a third party here. Well, answer the following questions. Choose all of the following media from A to F that qualify as propagation and transmission media. Internet, text character, and USB drive. Well, we have audio, radio, and book. Of course, he wants us to choose all the media from A to F that qualify as propagation and transmission media. So we choose internet, audio, and radio. These are transmission media or propagation. Question 2. What's a term for the ability to understand the meaning and characteristics of media and to accurately interpret information? Well, we call it media literacy. Media literacy. Well, that was the end for today's session, dear students. Hope you got all the information in correct way. All best wishes and see you next session. Goodbye.